All right, guys, here we are, Indiana Sports Connection. Thank you so much for joining me. That music rings a bell. That's from the videos. I can't believe they even saved my music on here because I don't pay for this app. But thank you so much for being here and being part of this community. This is Indiana Sports Connection. Let me get your comments up here. We're going to talk about an article that I found today. I thought it was really interesting about Sam Alexis. Once the season starts, like, we won't have as much time to talk about some of these types of things, like what Sam Alexis' background is. We're going to talk about the guy, Vaughn, and his name. I am just killing it on this name, but it's Vaughn is the new recruit that Darian DeVries. So Darian DeVries has 3 recruits now. Moody, Chase Brownham, and Vaughn. So we got 3 recruits in the bag right now. I know, like, it's hard for me to keep track of the recruits because until they're actually, whether they're playing in 26 or 27, my brain does not work that far ahead sometimes. But we got 3 recruits coming in. That's good for Darian DeVries and the Hoosiers. But we're going to talk about this story with Sam Alexis briefly, and then talk a little bit about Vaughn, but not a ton. I mean, you can watch highlights of the kid. Seems like, a really highly ranked, 42nd ranked Vaughn is. So, excuse me. He's definitely got just seems like a really talented kid. It's just gonna be like, time is gonna tell. And of all of these 5-star kids, that's why we're going to talk about Sam Alexis today, because I think everybody's known a kid like this, grown up with a kid like this that grew really big, was like 6'4". But, in the state of Indiana, we love basketball so much. I see a tall kid anywhere and I'm like, is he playing basketball? But he's just going to talk about how he kind of came in and, really had like no basketball skill at all when he was a freshman in high school and all that type of stuff. But if this is your first time here, hit that subscribe button down below. I appreciate it so much. And hit the thumbs up button. It pushes the video out to more Hoosier fans. The video is brought to you by nobody, so I'm not going to waste your time with ads on these videos. I'm trying to cut down YouTube's ads. I try to go in and take out some of their ads so people don't have to watch commercials, because they are very sneaky that way. But before we get into it, I do want to go on a rant real quick, because YouTube TV, and I'm not saying this against YouTube TV, but if you want to watch Monday Night Football tonight, which I love to watch the Manning Cast, I had to sign up because I have YouTube TV, and Saturday night, I'm sitting there going through my channels, looking for ESPN, looking for all this stuff. Gone. What has happened? And I don't blame YouTube TV. I blame Disney, because they are gouging YouTube TV to try to get people to switch over to Hulu, because Disney is just making these. You know why they're doing this? Because they're making these woke ass movies that nobody's watching. Like the last movie they made lost like $350 million. So rather than, just trying to make a better movie, they're going to come over here to YouTube TV, cancel everybody's ESPN so that they can try to get some of the money back from all the stupid mistakes. And it just is what it is. If you want to tell stories, tell stories. But I'm going to tell you, this stuff, it just pisses me off so to no end, because it goes on all over the place. I mean, when you see a game from the Big Ten Network, which, you got to pay extra to have the Big Ten Network. It's like $10.99 a month to get the games on the Big Ten Network. And then when Big Ten Network likes to go over to Peacock, and this is like worse than like your wife or girlfriend cheating on you. It's like they go over there to Peacock and they're like, hey, you want to buy the IU Purdue game for like $3 million? They sell it to them. And then we got to go over there, and then we got to pay to watch the game when we already paid for it on cable. Like, that's what they're doing. I just hate it. I know, like, I went to school for advertising and marketing. Like, I know how a lot of these industries work, and it just drives me nuts. There are 4 companies that are just controlling everything on here. They'll probably cancel this video because of it. It's like Sony, Disney, YouTube, Google. There's just like a few companies that control a lot of the media in this country, and it's just so bad. It just drives me nuts. Let's get off of that topic because we're already 5 minutes in here. Um, but Sam Alexis, I'm familiar with this town. It is a very delightful little town just north of Disney World, Apopka, Florida, and he just had no basketball skills coming in. In this article, it really talks about how he developed. And like he was 6'4" when he came in as a freshman. And he really, if he was 6'1", the coach said there's no way this dude would have made the team. But he was 6'4", big kid. He was kind of like a big, clumsy, chubby type kid. And we've all seen like this type of player growing up at the YMCA or whatever. But over time, I mean, he really, really got it. There was a guy who helped him, and his name was Earl Graham. And Earl Graham, bless his heart, he died of COVID during the COVID-19 to, spoil the story there. But um, leading into the November tryouts, Apopka's staff went back and forth. Like it was really, they were not going to let Alexis, like he just wasn't even going to make the high school team, even make the freshman team because his skill level, he was just so bad. Like he had no basketball skill. And I don't think like from what I've read about it, like I don't think his conditioning and just other things to play basketball, it just wasn't there. But he had that height. So that was the main determiner. They were kind of like, well, like you get a guy with height like this. Like that's true in basketball. I'm 5'11". That's why I am playing for anybody. But you know, when you're 6'4", you're given that opportunity. So they let him be on the team. Um, through 2 seasons there, Alexa, like he did very little to validate Graham's belief. He really, was slow coming along in every kind of way. Apopka's coaches saw, incredible growth, but he remained far from where he would need to be, like skill wise, to even play in high school basketball in Florida. Entering Alexis' junior season, Williams and his staff collectively, like they didn't think Alexis could play extensive minutes. His ceiling as a basketball player appeared to be capped as nothing more than a guy on the team. 16 months later, he received his first offer and then another. Graham's vision had been fulfilled. Um, so Alexis, he was the reason why he was able to stay on the team was because they let him be on the JV team or the varsity team, and then COVID hit, and then the school, they were going to cut him from the varsity team, and COVID is what really saved him. So um yeah, that was like kind of like what really saved his career. And then he met this guy. um Yeah, he said, like, "I don't wanna be that 6'9" kid working at McDonald's." So he met this guy who I don't know why this is flickering all around. He started doing 4:15 AM workouts every day, and he really worked on a lot of times, the guy who trained him, Williams, he, he wouldn't even do basketball drills. They would just really work on conditioning and basketball skills and that type of thing. But through that, then he got offers, was able to go to Florida, which is unbelievable. I mean, I really want to just look at this because this dude was not this highly touted prospect who, from the beginning, absolutely loved the game and everything. Like, I mean, he fell in love with the hard work ethic of getting up early and coming in and doing all of that type of stuff. And so I really think that's important. I mean, I had a comment the other day from Eddie, and it did really make me think because even though like Kirk Signetti, if he's able to get all the 4 and 5-star recruits, and I think this a lot about like Bob Knight. Yes, could Bob Knight get most any recruit, or could it be possible for Kurt Signetti to keep getting higher level like star players, the 4 and 5 star players? It is possible. I mean, but guys like Bob Knight or Signetti or DeVries, they don't always want those 5 star play. There are guys with 5 star talent that don't have 5 star work ethics. And a guy like that can really be a virus on your team if the main guy is going to be like your main scorer and he's not the guy holding people accountable and coming in early and doing all that type of stuff. It's might not be the best example for the guys lower on the totem pole, or maybe they're going to outwork him. But it just goes to show, like a guy like Sam Alexis and the guys that Darren DeVries has brought in here are work ethic guys. And just reading this story this morning, and no, my eyes were not all sparkly and everything like that. But when I was reading this article this morning, I was just like, yeah, like this is like the types of players that we did not have when we had Mike Woodson here. Now, I mean, Alec Bozich and the first game coming up on Wednesday night at Texas A&M, or not at Texas A&M, Alabama A&M at Assembly Hall, 8 o'clock Wednesday. That's when the Darren DeVries era starts. Tell me if you're going to the game, if you want to get to the game, there are cheap tickets. It's always great to go to Assembly Hall. So if you get a ticket for $6, go there. I kind of want to go just to be there for the beginning of it and see how the team is going to perform and everything like that, because it's an exciting time. It's an exciting time to be an Indiana fan. Today, I want to I'm going to make a video tomorrow about Kurt Signetti and his press conference today, talking about Penn State and kind of what he said after the game also. And just in short time, in the month of November, I'll be making a video every single day. Saturday, I got really thrown off my rocker on Saturday because I was searching for games on the TV. I was going to make a video Saturday night and I just did not get there. Um, because of that, I just was livid mad that the YouTube TV canceled ESPN and how all that stuff went down. But yeah, there were some great quotes. This article was on si.com and it was written by, and maybe I will put a link to this into the description down below if you want to read the full article. Yeah, Daniel Flick put this out this morning, but um, yeah, Sam Alexis, he didn't want to be a 6'9" McDonald's employee, so he devoted himself to basketball. And he's a national champion. I mean, he won a national championship. Now he comes to Indiana and is like an integral part of putting this first Indiana team together. I think this dude, I really think he should be starting. I think he's going to do and show a lot of like gritty toughness once we get into the Big Ten. Will he be overmatched at times? Yes, he probably will. But, you know, I think this team's going to find their defense when they need to find their defense. And I just think how DeVries coaches them up is going to make the biggest difference. But check out that article. We have a ton of yes, and Vaughn. I want to briefly just talk about him and about where just before the season starts, where Alec Bozich has Indiana ranked number 10 in his power rankings to start. So but I was okay with that. He's got IU at number 10. I can't believe he's got Iowa at number 9. I would not feel good if Ben McCollum was the coach at Indiana as much as I feel like I feel like Darren DeVries built the Drake system and then he had success at Division 1 at a hard school to coach at. And Ben McCollum, I don't know how his system and everything that I think is a lot less proven that type of thing is going to work in the Big Ten, if that makes any sense. It's just because the way he runs the shot clock down to 0, he runs a lot of stuff. I don't know. You got to have. I don't think Iowa is going to be I don't think Iowa's going to be better than Indiana this year. But he's got Illinois at 7, Michigan State at 6, Oregon at 5, Wisconsin 4, and then UCLA, Michigan, and Purdue round out the top 10. I'm gonna tell you, I don't see where Purdue is. So Purdue was highly ranked last year to begin the season. I feel like they just are getting that ranking because they got a lot of the same players coming back. They got the coach. They got like a lot of this stuff going on. So we'll see. I mean, Purdue, once this Big Ten season really got deep into it last year, Purdue was not looking great in a lot of games. And I mean, I just don't see how that's going to change. I see they got that big guy. I see a little bit of what they're talking about there, but it's just the same. I got to see it on the court. But so excited for basketball to finally get underway, and we're into November. And that's right. I put the Christmas stuff out. I put the Santa Claus over here. I just skipped right from Halloween right to Christmas. I don't really have any Thanksgiving decorations except for one turkey. So it is what it is. But for some reason, I don't think the comments on this video are showing up. But yeah, there is a ton of stuff to be excited about with Indiana basketball right now, and the football team's going 12-0. The Penn State game, I know it scares the hell out of me, but this team is rolling. That I felt like that game at Maryland was going to be tougher than it was. Seemed tough for about 2 minutes until about midway through the third quarter, and this game's over. And that's been the case. I would like to see, not that I want to see a close game at Penn State, but you want to see Indiana go through some adversity before the big game against Ohio State in the Big Ten championship game. Knock on wood, as long as everything goes well. But I am going to get off of here tonight. Everybody, enjoy your Monday Night Football. I'm sorry if you have YouTube TV. Get the Hulu Live for free 3-day trial. Make sure you put it on some blank credit card so they can't charge you, because it's like $89.99 a month. You don't want to forget to cancel that. You know, I'm a cheap ass. So, but until next time, stay classy out there, Hoosier fans.